In this video, we're looking at a commercial office renovation project. We're going to do a takeoff for the selective demolition involved on this job. The space we're looking at here is on the ground floor. Just to give some context, walls are metal stud and 5/8 drywall to 10 foot high, which is above the acoustical ceiling height of 9 foot. There are many aluminum glazing systems along the offices, and shown as a dashed line in the middle of the partition to be removed, and we can assume they are from finished floor to 8 foot high, followed by a 2 foot high section of drywall partition to top of wall. The ceiling finishes are acoustical ceiling tiles 2 foot by 4 foot everywhere except the elevator lobby and the bathrooms, which are 5/8 drywall on metal studs. The floor finishes at the elevator lobby and the bathrooms are ceramic tile 12 inches by 12 inches. The majority of the space is 2 foot by 2 foot carpet squares with the exception of certain offices along the perimeter, which are VCT. The casework and countertops are all plastic laminate. That should give us a pretty good idea of what we're doing as we get into the quantity markups. Let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is set the scale. On this page, the scale is 1/8 inch equals 1 foot 0 inches. The first markup that I'm going to take off is the removal of the drywall partitions. Since there are a decent amount of walls to be removed here, I believe this item is best taken care of first before the markups and annotations stack up and make it difficult to see. The tool we're going to use for this is the Polylength tool. This tool allows you to click a point to start the markup and then click the following points along the line you're tracing until it's completed, and to finish the markup you double-click. The standard length markup only allows you to mark up a single start and end point, so Polylength is more useful for us here. I'll type in the subject as removal of GWB partitions to 10 foot height and use the same for the label. I'm going to leave the default settings for a red line. We will change the colors for other markups to be able to see everything clearly. I turn off the segment value label and the show caption so that the markups only show us the red lines as the markup. We've got a lot of markups here, so I'm just going to work on tracing the walls shown as dashed to be removed until I've got all of them covered. The end result will be a lineal foot measurement of 10 foot partitions to be removed. The next markup I'd like to get out of the way is the removal of the existing doors and frames. For this markup, we'll use the count measurement tool. I'll go to the settings tab for this markup and enter the subject as remove existing door and frame. In this case, we don't need a label on the plan for the markup. Instead, we will move down to the appearance settings and choose a symbol for the door count. I will leave it at the default setting of a checkmark to show that we've got each door unit counted on the plan. Next, we will navigate around the drawing and click once on each door unit, and you'll see that it applies the checkmark. If you want to go a little further in depth, you could do several count markups and take off the single-man doors, double doors, and closet doors separately, but for the point of this video, we will count all of the units under this one markup. When finished, you'll see in the markup list that your count measurement provides the number of units. This item is now completed, and we will continue on. Next, we will take off the aluminum-framed glazing and side light assemblies. For this item, we will use the length measurement tool since these units are all straight runs with a start and end point. As stated in the intro to this video, we will assume the glazing assemblies start from finished floor elevation and are 8 foot in height. I'll select the length tool and enter the subject as remove existing aluminum-framed glazing assembly 8 foot height. I'll enter a height of 8 foot in the depth field, and then use the drop-down to instruct Revu to measure wall area of the glazing assemblies. Next, we will change some of the appearance settings so that we can distinguish between the removal of wall markups we've already completed. We change both the color and fill color to a blue color, and we will uncheck the boxes for show caption and show caption leader line. This way the markup annotations will not become overwhelming on our plan. We're now ready to begin measuring the length of each glazing assembly. I will navigate around the drawing and make sure I have a length measurement on each one. When finished, the markups list will show our markup with a total lineal feet, wall area which gives us square feet, and the count of the markups to give us the quantity. This markup is now completed, and we will continue on. The next takeoff will be for the removal of existing casework. This takeoff will be quick as there are only 3 instances of casework shown on the plan. This will be a length measurement. We select the length tool. In the subject we will enter remove existing plastic laminate casework and countertop. We will go to the markup settings and select a unique color to distinguish between the other markups. We are now ready and will quickly take the 3 measurements required. Then this markup is completed and we are ready to continue. We're going to look at the bathrooms now and take care of all the items within them so they're out of our way. We've got wall-mounted sink countertops, sink units, toilet partitions, toilets, urinals, ceramic tile floor finish, and drywall ceilings. We will use the length tool for lineal feet of wall-mounted sink countertops and take off each instance of that item, one in both bathrooms. We will use the count measurement tool for the sink units and count the 4 sinks at each bathroom. We will use the count measurement tool for both the toilet partition units and toilets, and then 1 additional count measurement for urinals. We will use the area tool for the ceramic tile floor finishes, selecting a fill color and turning the opacity down to 20%. We will use the area tool for the drywall ceilings, select a unique fill color and turning the opacity down to 20%. Now we've got all items in the bathroom covered, and we can move on to the elevator lobby area. The elevator lobby area will be similar to the bathrooms in that we need to mark up the area for removal of ceramic tile floor finishes and drywall ceilings. We will start with the ceramic tile floor finish. We will enter the subject as remove existing 12-inch by 12-inch ceramic tile floor finish at lobby area. We will select a unique fill color and lower the fill opacity to 20%. Next, we will do the drywall ceiling removal. Select the area tool, enter HT subject as remove existing GWB ceiling at lobby area. We select a unique color, turn the opacity down to 20%, and trace the perimeter area. Once we've completed these markups, we can continue to the larger areas. The next takeoff that we'll work on is the removal of the acoustical ceilings. With the elevator lobby and bathrooms out of the way, the entirety of the workspace remaining will be 2 foot by 4 foot acoustical ceiling tile and grid at 9 foot height. We are going to use the area tool for this takeoff. I'm going to try to get the entire area in one single markup here, leaving out only the stairways and the elevators. I'll select the area tool, enter the subject as remove existing ACT/grid ceiling at 9-foot height. Then go into the settings and select a unique fill color. Lower the opacity to 10% because we've still got to add flooring removal markups, and then we're ready to trace the area. Once we're finished with this markup, we'll move on to the remaining floor finishes in the space. We will now look at the 2 areas of VCT floor finish to be removed, as mentioned at the start of the video. We will use the area measurement tool for this markup and enter the subject as remove existing VCT floor finish and vinyl wall base. We will select a unique color and set the fill opacity to 20%. We're now ready to mark up the 2 sections with VCT. Once we're finished with those areas, we will move on to the final markup, removal of carpet tile floor finish throughout the rest of the space remaining. We're now looking at the final markup, which is carpet tile floor finish removal at the remaining space. This will be an area markup. We'll select the area tool and enter the subject. Removal of existing 2-foot by 2-foot carpet tile floor finish and vinyl wall base. We'll select unique color, set the fill opacity to 20%, and now we're ready to measure the areas. We've now got all of our markups completed. We will export the markups to a CSV file so that we can see what we've got. I adjust the column widths, make the columns headings more clear, and the end result is our takeoff list in a clear format with all the quantities shown in their own fields. In part 2 of this video, we will enter some unit cost data and generate a cost estimate for this work. We will also look at formatting a proposal for this scope of work from scratch in Microsoft Word. Leave a like and comment. Let me know if you have any questions on anything shown, and thanks for watching.